months ago, I made a new friend. Right when I needed it. Best friend's been there. He's been through it all before me. What happened next is truly for the books. This man opened his heart, he opened his heart to me. He opened his heart for you. So no matter what, no matter what, you've got to roll. Yeah, you can't go slow. Get through this time we're living in. Get your updates from Wages World. You may find yourself in the mirror, quoting yourself, you're looking for answers. Get your space weather from Wages World. The Wages World. Don't get it all from Wages World. You check it, you gotta see me coming at me. Gotta get on by 3, gotta tell the world, get ready, cause you don't know what's coming. If we're gonna shut down, no, but I'm gonna give it to you. If we can, we're going to be prepared. Get your prep on the Wages World. Get your funk with the Wages World, yeah. Maybe we'll have a little Hamilton Jameson on Wages World, yeah. There's just one show you got to catch. It's Wages World. There's just one show you got to catch. It's Wages World. My brother Wages.
Hey guys, what's up? Somebody give me a 5 for 5, please. Let me know, or 5 by 5, whatever you want to say. Let me know the sound and the audio's okay. The audio and the video here is all right. It's good to see everybody in here. I appreciate you guys being here. Cool. I probably will put the chat away. I trust my moderators. Moderators, just so you know, I unbanned almost everybody. So if somebody's in here causing a bunch of problems that you recognize their name and, if they do anything, just go ahead and ban them. If you recognize the screen name, I'm giving everybody a chance here. I don't want, that's all I'm doing. But if they come in here and want to start making issues and causing problems again, yeah. But other than that, just follow the same rules. I do appreciate you moderators. You guys have a tough job, especially on a channel like mine. I get it because I moderate on other channels like mine, and it gets pretty hectic sometimes. It's hard to know what to do sometimes, but my rules are very clear. You can say what you want. You can't attack anybody. You can't talk negatively about another channel or attack anybody personally. You can say, hey, I like this guy's channel, that kind of thing. But if those people aren't here to defend themselves, I don't think it's right to bash them, especially on somebody else's chat. It's just completely disrespectful all the way around. I will be addressing that a little bit later on in my show here tonight also, because of my second channel. I'm going to try to incorporate that and let you guys understand what's going on with that also. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and jump into it. I do appreciate all my moderators, and I'm going to put the chat away. So I trust you guys. The moderators typically will give you a warning, just so you know. And after that, you know, if somebody gets banned by one of my moderators, it's really difficult to get you unbanned, because they did it for a reason. And, you know, so I just want to put that out there. Okay, so we'll go. Hey, Sid, what's up, brother? Oh, by the way, if anybody came over, I know Mark is live right now too. I just haven't had time to go over there and chat and stuff. I've been trying to get this show ready tonight. Go back to his show, watch it, you know, stay there with him, and then come back here. And, you know, watch it on replay if you want. You know, I'd appreciate that. I'm sure Mark would also. He works really hard on his channel and does a lot of good stuff over there. And if you guys don't know who Mark Pires is, if you looked at my intro, he wrote and sang that, my audio, my intro music. It's great stuff. So guys, please go check him out. Mark Pires Renaissance Man is his channel name. It's in my description box. Anybody, one of my mods can, you know, throw his link in there if they want. But it's also in the bottom of the intro. So I just want to point that out also. All right. So Schumann. Guys, we're seeing spikes quite often now. You know, I don't think this is ever going to go to kind of a nominal norm anymore. I really think that this is what we're going to see from here on out. You know, we may get, you know, a couple blocks here and there where we don't see too much action here. But these, you know, these aren't like extreme amounts of things. And again, guys, when we're talking about the Schumann, I always point you guys to Verte Arbuoto's channel. You know, he's in my description also. You guys need to go check him out. He knows what he's talking about when talking about this stuff. He is definitely well more versed in this than I am. And I've done some pretty decent studies on this too, but he's still leaps and bounds above me and above a lot of other people that I talk to. He just has a really deep understanding because he's been watching it for like 30 years. He's been studying it for like 30 years. So it's something that's not new to him, and he knows it really, really well. But it's basically the heartbeat of the Earth, and when it does do certain things outside of the 7.83, it can make us feel weird. It can make us sick. We can get ringing in our ears, and that's why we talk about it, okay? It is the most important tool, in my opinion, because once this thing really starts getting all jacked up and stays all jacked up, you can bet your butt that something's going down, okay? Because this is going to be one of the main key things that's going to change, and it already is. So that's what I would say to that. It's changing at a level. It seems to be slowly, incrementally changing over time, and it seems to not be going back the other way. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, obviously, and it's just observation on my end. You guys need to dig into it for yourself and really dig into that. And it's like I said, go check out Verte's, and that's another, you know, just another resource and another research avenue you can go down. But we did get hit with a geomagnetic storm. They were predicting this thing, but their forecasting was off a little bit, and they backed it up a couple times. It was not as powerful as what they thought it was going to be. Here it is. Okay. It did arrive right around noon today, UTC time, and it was not as, you know, big or powerful as they thought it was going to be. They were still saying it was going to be a G1, but they thought it was going to be here sooner. Plus, we had a couple double ejections. One of them fired at Earth from the sun a few days back, and a lot of people got confused. They thought that was what that coronal hole was. Well, it was that one ejection that hit the Earth, okay? It just wasn't powerful. It didn't hardly do anything to us geomagnetically. It took us up to a KP of 4. We're talking back on the 18th. That's why we can't see it here. It took us up to a KP of 4, and that was it. It didn't even get us into storm level. That's how weak it was. So, just to let you know. I'm not sure if I'm going to show much more of this particular graph right now. This is just another way to look at the KP and the geomagnetic storm levels here. We see this a lot of times when we see like a flare. You can also see data spikes right here that sometimes it's an error. But a lot of times when you see these spikes on this magnometers like that, just like a thump, like that, sometimes that's like a flare from the sun. Because remember, it gets here and it's gone in 8 minutes. It's traveling at the speed of light. So, and sometimes the tool will interpret it like this. What I can say is that did happen right around the time, if you go up here and you look, this geomagnetic storm was happening. So that probably had something to do with it. It may have, whatever reason, I don't know why it would just do that from a steady coronal hole stream, but regardless, it happened right after that, so who knows? But at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal anyway, because not much really came from this. Here is a sunspot we've been talking about that was really, really active, especially when it was just off the limb here. It's sizable. Obviously, you guys can see that. Anybody that's been watching my channel for any length of time knows that is actually pretty sizable. Now, you can see these little white squigglies back here. Those are actually, they're really, really small groups of sunspots that aren't really developed. Okay? And as the sun cycle progresses here, as we get more and more further along into the sun cycle here, these things will start showing up as these darker spots. And when that happens, typically what happens is it starts interacting with each other. Okay? And we start getting the flaring. And that's probably why this one was flaring quite a bit, because, you still had some active areas back here. It wasn't really, considered a sunspot grouping, but it's still active area back here. And when the polarities and stuff that are crossing, it definitely causes flares or filaments to release. All kinds of crazy stuff happens around these sunspots, and that's why we watch them. Okay? So I just wanted to, point that out to you guys, because it's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. We always do anyway, but I like to tell people, especially for the new people. But yeah. So if we go over here to, I tell you what, let's go to the Discover data here first. Now, I'm going to bring the chat up for this real quick, because I think this is important. Again, this is Discover data. This is a way to look at the solar wind. Hi, hey, Becca. Good to see you. By the way, Muse, Trish, everybody else, Kim Possible, good to see you. Opposite, what's up? But yeah, so as you can see here, when we talk about the BZ, that's the angle of which the space weather gets into our system. If it's at a -6 or bigger, or more further into the negative, is how I like to explain it, because sometimes people don't quite understand negative numerals and stuff. But -6 is what we look for. It means that our angle is correct for that stuff to really get in pretty easy. Well, we got down to a -13 right there. If you look at the boxes here as I'm rolling this through, look at the red number there. You can see a -13, and that's a pretty decent angle for this stuff to be coming in. -6 is really all it takes for big hits to happen. When you see a -13, it's pretty much we're wide open to get smacked pretty good. And you see where it's all blue or purplish color right down through here? That means that is the -6 marker that it hit. Anytime you see that up here. I encourage anybody to go over here and look at this data daily. It's easy to learn. It's not that hard to understand. The orange line here is the density. The density got up there pretty decent. Okay? We're looking at 33. 4 is normal. Anything above 4 we consider elevated. You can see how it all kind of tapered back off. And this is a good way to show you guys what a true coronal hole stream does. It kind of slowly rises, and you even get like a piling up effect of charged particles in front of a coronal hole stream. And the density will spike sometimes right before it hits. And that's kind of what you're seeing here a little bit. So that happens, and then you get the wind speed with it. Now, when the wind speed comes with it, it's taking dense charged particles at a higher speed and smacking it right up against our magnetic field. And that's why we get the geomagnetic storms. That's how that happens. So when the angle is correct, it doesn't have to hit us as hard to get in. That's kind of what I'm saying here. And so, but everything elevated, this is exactly what I would expect to see with a coronal hole stream. Again, none of us lost power. None of us, okay, guys, this is not a big event. Okay, if you guys want to talk about big events, we're going to have to start talking about G4 and G5 level geomagnetic storms. G3, we can sometimes see stuff down lower latitudes, but not very often. Okay, let's just face it. The bigger storms is what we're really concerned about. And that's why we talk about this at all. I just want to point that out, because oftentimes I see a lot of people making a big deal about a geomagnetic storm that's only a G1. We have never seen any massive effects from a G1. We'll see beautiful aurora. It's almost a good thing. And it actually does help strengthen our magnetic field the more of this kind of stuff we get, as long as it's low level stuff. Okay? So yeah, and it helps us study it too. The more of this we see, the more data we see, it helps us understand it better. So the lower level storms are actually good for us. Now, I want to show you guys something interesting here. I ran into this today, and this is stereo A, and again, I'm going to bring the chat up for this one, because this was really this is the first time I've seen this ever happen on a satellite. Now, I'm not saying it ain't never happened before. It's just the first time I've actually seen it myself, observed it for myself, okay? But this is our side view. This is stereo A. The satellite would be here. Earth would be kind of over here, all right? Now, sometimes when these satellites see a flare, the initial blast from the X-rays, or even when like some of the charged particles from a coronal hole stream or something, when they start hitting the satellite, they'll give you some weird looking photography, or I'm not photography, but weird looking captures. Okay, it interprets that kind of odd sometimes. And what we see with stereo A a lot, you'll see like a real grainy green color here on this angstrom, the 195. Now, if I was on the orange, you would see orange. I mean, obviously, okay? That's just a color they assign that part of the light spectrum. That's all that number means. They could have made this thing pink if they wanted to. It would still be 195 on the light spectrum. But watch this. You're going to see it kind of do that weird-looking anomaly. Here, let me go here first. I'll show it to you first. Where's it at? I thought I had it. There it is. Hold on. I had it keyed up. Sorry, guys. Okay. So, this is what I'm talking about right here. You see, this is what it does sometimes when it gets those. It kind of makes it look all funky and pixelated and stuff like that. But check this out. If I go down here and I run this back a little bit, watch it come in from right to left. Watch what happens here. Actually, I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see this. I've not seen it do this ever on the satellite, and I'm not saying that it hasn't never done it. So don't misunderstand me here. I'm just saying that I've never personally seen it. So we go here. There it is. You see that part? It started coming in, and then the whole screen does that, and then it goes back to kind of normal. Now remember, we're talking about 10-minute increments. You're getting one capture every 10 minutes here. So we're not getting it's not like a movie here. This is more like a flip book. Okay? Remember the little flip books you used to make when you were a kid to animate something? That's kind of what you get when you're looking at these movies. These are not really true movies. Okay? Because you're only getting one capture however time limit they got it set for. And this one's every 10 minutes. We have to understand that there's so many things that happen in that 10 minutes that we don't get to see. So even though it doesn't look like it was real smooth and kind of moving from right to left, you can clearly kind of see that that's actually what happened here. And I've never seen that really catch it like that. I just thought that was interesting. Does it mean anything? No. I just thought it was interesting because it does show you that the satellite itself was picking that up, and it picked it up with such, well, I guess precision, if you really want to go down that road with it, that it was able to catch it like that, to that, and then back to normal. Pretty impressive for a satellite that's about 92 million miles away from the Earth, or from the sun, I would say. I would say that's pretty impressive. But, That's just me. I'm a nerd like that, I guess. So yeah. But I just wanted to show that to you guys. And again, guys, it probably don't mean a whole lot of anything. I just thought it was really interesting. So anyway, let's move on with this. Now, again, I'm going to go over here to seeds because we did have some eruptions here. This is today. This is the front view, and you're actually seeing 3 different eruptions. Okay? They're not huge. This last one looks like it could be bigger than the other 2. Now, I don't think any of this is coming at us. I was looking at stereo A, and it doesn't look like any of it's coming at us. This is, again, our side view. Now, this is showing it kind of popping out here on the end. So the last one could kind of be giving us a glancing blow. But let me show you where that's coming from. It's coming from this sunspot. All right, this is the one that was really active when it was over here. And it really was. It was firing stuff left, right, and center, man. I mean, it was pop, 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 pop. It was really active. Then it kind of stabled out. And now it looks like it could be getting active again. But we've also got this other one getting ready to crest over. If you guys remember about 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were going through the same kind of thing. And these are really the same sunspot groupings that, at least this one I know for sure, it made it a full lap around the sun. This is an old sunspot that never dissipated, and it got strong again. So that does happen from time to time. We've seen them hang around for 2 or 3, revolutions around the sun. That's a good ways. And something else I was noticing, you notice here on the equator how it's kind of faded looking. I'm not really sure what's causing that. I'm going to dig into that because I hadn't really noticed it before. But I do know that the equator of the sun rotates faster than the poles. Okay, so that's actually what pulls the magnetic field lines of the sun, makes them go horizontal, because they start off at the beginning of the sun cycle vertical. All right, like a bar magnet, they're going vertical like that. And then as time progresses, because the equator is spinning faster or rotating faster than what the poles are on the sun, it stretches them horizontal. And then sometimes when they get a kink in them, they'll poke out through the surface, and that's what your sunspot basically is. Now, there is a lot more science behind all that, obviously. That's just a really quick, because I get a lot of questions. And you're also going to see these sunspots, they started up here and here. And they're going to start slowly migrating towards the equator of the sun. And then when the sun does its pole flip, okay, like we talk about a magnetic pole flip here on Earth, when it finally does its pole flip, that starts the new sun cycle. And everything goes back to vertical. And then it starts pulling them again. It's just a cycle that it just keeps repeating. So, but that's what the sunspot is. And that's where the activity's coming from, is this area here. Okay. Where do I go with this? Okay. Again, this is the magnetopause. This is just the wind speed itself. And again, this is, when you see it out here in the front, this is what we would expect to see from a coronal hole stream. Nothing really big time going on as far as anything coming from the front. But we do got a lot of pressure, and that's what I will say. Look at this. This is that's quite a bit of pressure. Okay, and when the front of our magnetic field almost gets filled in right here on this pressure graph here, we're getting pushed pretty good. We're getting some pretty good pressure there. So yeah, not really. Again, like I said, what we're seeing right now, I think, is pretty classic coronal hole stream. It just, all that stuff is showing it. Now you're getting, this is where it gets kind of strange for me, because I'm looking at the earthquakes, and again, I am not the earthquake guy. All right, just saying that straight up, right to the hilt. Right. You guys know that I like Ron Tyler over at Emergency Management Associates. Him and Terry do a really good job. Ricky, she's over there a lot, and she knows what she's talking about. I'm just not that knowledgeable about earthquakes. I'm just not. It's as simple as that. And I'm not afraid to admit that kind of stuff. I just don't know. But I will say I do think space weather does affect this. Okay. Now, when I start looking at these things, and we had a 6-7 down here, okay, a couple days ago. But when I see one like this up here, this catches my attention. That's a 4-5 in a place that we don't see earthquakes typically. Okay, now I don't see any other like aftershocks or any kind of foreshocks or anything like that. But that's an extremely strange place to see an earthquake of that size, in my opinion, at least from what I can observe. Now, we are seeing some 5s, but again, the last 6 we had was down here, and it was a couple days ago, I believe. Now, this down here was a 5-7. Sometimes it even shocks people to know that we do get quite a bit of earthquakes towards the North and South Pole. It's not like it's a normal thing to get those kinds of things, especially around the lines here, the plate boundary lines, or fault lines also. But again, like I said, I'm not the earthquake guy, guys, so I'm not going to go into detail on this. I'm not going to sit here and try to blow smoke up your butt and try to say, hey, I know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to this, because I don't. And I wish there was a lot more people out there that would do that with what they're trying to say. You know what I mean? If people could just admit that kind of stuff, I think we could all get a little further. But that's just me, you take it for what it's worth. Now, you got this right here, guys. This is the geoelectric field model. This is space weather's effect on our electrical grid system. Again, this is a three-dimensional one. This one is not completed yet. It's still in testing and development. Once this one gets done, it will probably make this one look kind of crazily stupid. Because this is really, really detailed. You'll notice that this is right along the populated areas. That's why you see it more active there, because there's more electrical components there. But for now, this does just a fine job. It really does. You can tell where the space weather is, and, we're not stupid. We know where it's populated. But yeah, here's spaceweather.com. Again, you got 2 official sunspots. And, and again, guys, you can go back to the sun cycle and you start comparing year of this sun cycle to the year of last sun cycle, and you'll see if it's getting more active or not just by this percentage. And what that percentage is just telling you the amount of days we had sunspots facing Earth. It doesn't tell you that there was 5 or 6 of them. All this is saying is there was at least one sunspot facing Earth that day. That's all that says. It doesn't even take in consideration the stuff that we see on stereo A that's on the side, or anything that's on the back side, all that stuff. It only takes in consideration what we see here on the front side of the disc. That's it. I think that's a little bit of a fail in my opinion, and I hope that gets a little bit better as time goes on. I'm sure they're working on something here on how to better map out this stuff. Because if you're just going to go off of that really, they are trying to figure out exactly how to do that. Now, I will say this. We say that the sun has 11-year sun cycle. It's not exactly 11 years to the day. There's some stipulations there that have, and some criteria that have to be met to say that we're into the next sun cycle. Also, just because we're into the next sun cycle doesn't mean that we can't have a sunspot from the last sun cycle. And I'm not going to get into all that because that's a lot of different stuff to talk about. But that is true. You can be in both suns. Matter of fact, we are in both sun cycles every time we switch over. So just so you know. Okay. So, let me do this real quick. Where did I put that? Okay. Now, you guys, I want to mention this real quick. Okay. This is my new YouTube channel. I'm gonna bring it up here, right here. I'm not gonna be able to look at the chat too much here, but I do want to mention this because I'm going to try to get some debates and stuff scheduled here. And here's what I want to say to everybody about this. Okay. If you want to challenge somebody to, something that they're saying or whatever, you can email me. My email to this is in my description of this video. And if you want to do that, email me and I'll try to get a hold of people. And if you want to come on and ask them why they believe how they believe and what kind of evidence they have, and if you got something to go against that, we can have a discussion. We can make it a formal style debate, or it can just be an open discussion with me moderating. Over here on this channel, I will not put my opinion on anything. That's not the goal of this channel. Okay, the goal of this channel is to get everybody's ideas and people that oppose those ideas in the same room at the same time. Okay, so everybody can see what's being said right there, right there, right there. There ain't none of this crap going on in the background. It's out there for everybody to see. And I really hope that people take this and really use this to try to at least, okay, let me say this too. I have no disillusion that person A is disagreeing with person B. These two are not going to change each other's mind. Okay, it's not going to happen during a debate. But what's helpful is everything that's being said to the audience. Those are the people that are really listening and see what kind of information is being said. So I really hope that people take me up on this, because I'm a very fair person. I think you guys all know that. I don't take sides ever. That's not what I do. And I'm very fair when it comes to anything. And that's, I would let whoever's A and whoever's B, they will get their say. They will be able to respond to each other, even if I have to mute the other person. Okay? It's not like it's going to be, I'm going to hit you in the head here and we're going to hit back and all that kind of stuff. I know the name of, I even considered changing the name because it does kind of, I guess, kind of sound like that. But that wasn't my intent. I see so much stuff, people running this direction and that direction and never saying it to each other's face. And it becomes, I make a video here, you make a video there, and now everybody in the audience is confused and this, that, and the third. And it gets real old. And frankly, I'm tired of it, to be honest with you. There's sometimes I get frustrated enough, I just shut it off and don't even look at nobody's stuff for weeks. Because it gets frustrating. And I know you guys have to feel the same way. Because I've been doing this now for over 3 or 4 years, and, I know a little bit about what's going on already. I couldn't imagine a new person coming up into a conversation of anything that we talk about. And there's no subject off limits. I want to say that too. We can talk about space weather. We can talk about religion. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. I don't care. As long as it helps people get a better understanding or another idea of what could actually be happening, but also have a check there to make sure that things are being said and done the right way. That's the goal of this. So if you want me to try to contact somebody, just email me. If you want to, say, hey, I want to do this to this person. I want to talk to this person. I can even announce it on my channel. Be like, hey, such and such wants to talk to such and such. I'm trying to get a hold of them. Can we maybe set something up? And then everything's going to be respectful. It's not going to be somebody just in here smacking somebody across the face. I won't allow it. It's going to be a very respectful and hopefully a productive conversation once this happens. I don't have any content here yet, obviously, because I haven't had any debates yet. I'm working on some stuff. But if you guys have anybody that wants to, or if you yourself want to, just let me know. Okay? You can email me at either place. I'll look at it. It's jwages819@gmail. And then my other one's, BLUECOOL52@gmail. Either one of those are going to work. So if you guys want to do that, if you guys have, even like subjects like, I'm trying to pick stuff that people know and talk about a lot. HAARP, CERN, Mandela effect, and we can keep going on and on and on and on and on. All right? Honestly. There's so many things that we could talk about. I don't care what it is. So, if you guys want it, it's there. I'm giving you guys the opportunity and a platform to do it in a respectful way. So where people can have a true conversation about whatever you want to talk about. So I did want to, bring this up and point this out to people. Thank you to those guys that have already subscribed over here. I know, like I said, I know I don't got no content over here, but thank you for that. And I hope this number keeps growing because I think it'll help people. I really do. That's the goal of this. That's all it's for. I want people to have the ability to see all sides of it and then use their own minds to decide what they believe. I don't want to tell anybody what to believe. And, if somebody wants to just beat somebody in the face with stuff and just continue to say, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right, I'm never wrong, and stuff like that happens, and then you get, well, this will kind of help that because then you'll have somebody directly challenging them right then on the spot. It won't be something, like I said, running over here, running over there. It's going to be right here. And, and again, guys, if you guys want to know a good debate channel, there's a channel called Modern Day Debate. The guy's name's James. He does it very, very fairly, and he hits all subjects too. So I really hope that I can get to some level like that and get people that really want to have a good conversation. So, but anyway, guys, I am going to go ahead and get off of here. I appreciate all you guys. Ricky, you're killing me. Hey, Axe, what's up, bud? Hey, Ray, what's that? Ricky, we don't just get along. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So, yeah, guys, if you guys want any part of that, if you want to email me, that's all good. And we'll do it that way. I'll try to get, if you guys want to, like I said, have a conversation with somebody and you don't know how to get a hold of them, to ask them to have a conversation, I might be able to help facilitate that. I can try to, use the connections and stuff that I got to get to, the people that are out here, putting their information and stuff out. And I also think it's going to help people that are trying to get their information out. It's going to give them a place to come to do that. And hopefully people will see, just get the good information and we'll be able to make our own decisions and we can all slap butt and just keep right on walking and have a good day. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, guys, I am going to go ahead and get off of here. I appreciate y'all stopping in. I'll kind of keep you guys up to date. I'll try to. I've been trying to do the YouTube shorts, and I know a lot of people don't like TikTok, but I do have a TikTok account. If you guys want, I've been posting there probably daily on the shorts. And it's just a 1 minute update on like a CME or whatever's going on. It's real quick stuff. So yeah, I know. Sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Thanks, Keith. Appreciate that, man. So yeah, guys, I really do think that this could help. And I really do think I really hope that the people have courage enough to defend what they're saying and have the ability and courage enough and confidence in themselves enough in their information to be able to come share it with people and get challenged at the same time. It's okay to get challenged. It doesn't have to be mean and nasty. It just has to be respectful and get it out there that way. You know what I'm saying? And it'll give people a true look at the information. It really will. So I really hope people take me up on this. So anyway, guys, God bless. Yahusha saves, and